Can you all see me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So hello and welcome to this special webinar, the Big Scottish Cyber Quiz. So thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Kirsty Steele. I am a Cyber Resilience Community Lead at the Scottish Business Resilience Centre, where our team work in partnership with Scottish Government, Police Scotland, Scottish Fire and Rescue and Services with the small business community. We help make Scotland a safe and resilient place to live, work and do business both on and offline. So I am your host and your quiz master for this session. And before we meet the team and I share my slides with you, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction about why we're here today. So October is universally acknowledged as Cybersecurity Month. And this week in particular is Get Safe Online Week, an annual showcase event. Get Safe Online is a UK government-funded resource providing practical advice to individuals and businesses on how to protect themselves while on their computers and mobile devices against fraud, identity theft, viruses, and many other more problems encountered online. So as part of Get Safe Online Week, the team have organised a unique global event, Get Safe Online Global 24 hours of non-stop online safety events organised by specialists in over 24 countries. So Global 24 links countries around the world in a continuous and unbroken series of educational events, presentations and guest appearances. And a full list of their events are available on their website if you want to take a look and see what the countries around the world are doing to highlight the importance of online safety. We have Fiji, Tuvalu, Bahamas, Barbados. They're just some of the countries that are involved in this week. So there's already been lots of events happening this morning, right round and across the world. And the virtual baton has officially been passed on from Rwanda to Scotland. So Rwanda held a panel session hosted by Get Safe Online with the Global Shakers, a project that empowers young people to affect change. So thank you, Rwanda, and I hope that you're tuning into our Scottish quiz this morning. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the team here that are on the screen with me. So helping me keep a tally of the scores, I've got my independent adjudicator is Keith McDevitt from the Scottish Government Cyber Resilience Unit. Keith, tell me, what is your favourite number? Where has he gone?
You scared him off.
I think I've scared him off. Is he on mute? The classic Zoom quiz disaster.
Bingo.
He can see, and he's on. I can see him, and he's on mute. So what we'll do is we'll move on from Keith. I hope he's better at keeping account of the scores as opposed to speaking. So let's move on and introduce the teams instead. So we have our team captain for the blue side, hoping to lead his team to victory. We have David Robertson from Hephaestus. So David, please introduce yourself, tell us what you do and introduce the rest of your team to us.
Right, well, hi everybody and thanks very much, Kirsty. My name's David Robertson and I have the honour and the privilege of being working with the universities and colleges in Scotland to improve cyber security. I work as part of a shared service for the Northern region, so I am officially the CISO of the North, which gets me a free pass to every Game of Thrones event for the next 5 years. I'm going to plug in a couple of quick, interesting facts, apart from the fact that we really love working with students and colleges and universities, making sure that their security is of the highest possible standard. But a couple of interesting facts then about me, and we'll see if everybody else follows suit. First of all, I am a British, Scottish, and European and world wargaming champion multiple times, which means I play with toy soldiers and talk about Napoleon a lot. I also have the accolade of being a Rock Wars winner, which, if anyone remembers, that was Claire Sturgis and Tommy Vance. And oh, it was great making lots of loud music. But my real claim of fame today is that I believe I am the only one on this panel who is not wearing stretch pants.
You could actually be right with that. So next in your team, we have Harry. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do. Wait, Harry, you're on mute.
Is that any better?
Much better, thank you.
Standard. So yeah, Harry McLaren, I'm from Adama, a Scottish-based cybersecurity consultancy. My expertise are designing, building and helping manage security operations centres. And I'm the co-founder of Cyber Scotland Connect. My claim to fame is I was the youngest person in my college to become a Microsoft certified professional at 17.
Excellent, that is very impressive. And we've got Declan next, a colleague of mine. Declan, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Hi everyone, my name is Declan Doyle. I'm the head of ethical hacking at SBRC and one of the few people to have met Kirsty in person at SBRC because unfortunately we've had to work from home. And you may recognise me from the Scottish Business Cares webinar series, Exercise in a Box, or a very popular video at the Cyber Awards where I falsely claimed that I could not iron shirts. I'm very sorry, but I had to do it to get a few cheap laughs.
Hope you've learned that trick now. At least only the top half of your shirts.
You only need to do the top half now. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Save the time. So next on your team, we have Beverly from Police Scotland. Beverly, introduce yourself.
Morning, I'm from the Cybercrime Harm Prevention team. We're a national team that work with public, private and third sector to promote cybersecurity and online safety. My claim to fame is I'm the only officer in Police Scotland to ever have arrested a polar bear.
This fact blows my mind, and I'm sure we'll do a webinar specifically on this so that you can explain more details as to
what to talk about.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I interrupt? Because I do have a very interesting fact. What is the only thing with fur that you cannot eat every part of? It's the polar bear. It's the polar bear's liver. It is too rich in nutrients and it's poisonous to human beings. So you will take your life in your hands there, Beverly.
Note to self, next time I start to cut into a polar bear.
That is excellent. Thank you so much. So Kevin, please introduce yourself and tell us who you work for.
Thanks, Kirsty. I'm Kevin Burns. I'm head of IT for Sight Scotland, which was formerly Royal Blind. Sight Scotland is the largest vision impairment charity in Scotland and the oldest in the world for all ages. I also used to be a professional footballer, and my claim to fame is scoring a goal at Hampden.
That is pretty good. I can't say I've done the same, but I bet you that was a great feeling to do that. Thank you. So that is our blue team, and taking battle, we have the red team going face to face. Chelsea, you are heading it up. You are the team captain. Tell us who you are and introduce your team to us.
I am. So I am Chelsea Jarvie, and I'm a cybersecurity consultant for my own small business called Neon Circle. I don't really have much of a claim to fame, but I was in a book a few years ago about leading women in Scotland, and the women in this book were amazing, so I don't know how I got featured, but I'm wearing my red lipstick today, so I mean business. So the red team are going to win.
Excellent. Fighting talk there. I love it. That's great. And next on your team, we have Carrie.
Hi, I'm Carrie Hendricks. I'm the operational director of ID Cyber Solutions, specializing mostly in training and helping folks out. So yeah, claim to fames. Well, there's a couple, but they better stay secret.
It's been secretive already. Okay. And then we've got Federico in the red team.
Hey team, Federico Charowski, Managing Director and Founder of Quorum Cyber. Claim to fame has nothing to do with polar bears, but I once learned that I can hold a headstand for 10 minutes while drinking a gin and tonic. Never ask how I learned that about myself.
It's an impressive skill to have and one to always, maybe show off about sometimes. Who knows? Maybe in the future. Jerry, you're next on the team red.
I'm Jerry Grant. I'm the Cybersecurity Manager for NHS Tayside. My claim to fame, earlier on this year, I beat an Olympic silver medalist at his own sport. He was playing in a team with his 12-year-old son and their 3 kids, but I still won.
Exactly. So we've got Connor. You are the final contestant on the red team.
So I'm Connor Mackay and I work for the Scottish Government Cyber Resilience Unit. And my interesting kind of fact and claim to fame is I used to volunteer at a Living History Prehistory Park, where I taught people how to make bread from cultivation to making the oven that it was baked in, making things like bows and arrows and smelting metal. And I made an axe once. It wasn't a very good one, but I still made it. And I once spent a day filming with the documentary crew, and I was very excited. I filmed lots of scenes. Had a few months later, when I knew it was being broadcast, had my whole family gathered around only for my hands to be featured in the documentary for about 3 seconds, handing over a pot to a Roman.
That was you, I swear, it was my hand. Excellent, thank you, Connor. It looks like we've got a really varied bunch of skilled professionals here, and I'm sure that some of those claim to fames will not help you in this quiz, but let's see how we get on. I do believe I've had word in that Keith is back on the call. Let's see if he can tell me again how he's doing. Are you with us, Keith?
Well, good morning, Kirsty and everyone. I'm certainly with you now. A moment ago, I'd gone completely deaf, which is not ideal for the score master, although I had pre-prepared the score at the end anyway, so that was my plan B. That was a joke. So my name's Keith McDevitt. I'm the Cyber Resilience I'm the Cyber Resilience Integrator within the Cyber Resilience Unit at the Scottish Government, and I'm the score master today not because of my great depth of knowledge with the technology, which we've just demonstrated is fairly limited, but actually because I am completely impartial because of the trust built up over 30 years of a previous life in policing. So you can trust me to be impartial because I know everyone in both sides. But please, let's go before I lose it again.
No problem. Thank you, Keith. So audience at home, we will encourage you to play along with us this morning. So grab a pen and paper, write down your scores, tell us how you're getting on with the questions. The chat is open, but please do not reveal your answers in the chat. We will be watching. We don't want to give any of our panelists some good tips or what the answers are. So please keep that to yourselves. So we have met the teams now, so I will get started with the quiz. So let me just share my screen. And I'm going to go through what the rules are of the game. Excellent. I'm just setting up here 1 second. Okay, great. Can we all see this okay? Perfect. I'm going to... viewers at home, you might want to do what I've just done and adjust your settings. Teams, you may also want to do this. Make sure that you can change the settings in your Zoom so that you can see panelists and the screen in front of you. You can adjust it to gallery mode or side-by-side view, whichever you feel most comfortable with. So here we go. I'm going to go through what the rules are. So the directions are, here we go. So we've got a question per team. I will start with the blue team as they won the coin flip test to begin with. So they chose to go first. So we'll start with the blue team and we'll go through back and forward, question each set. So you can confer in your teams. I will direct a question to an individual specifically, but the teams can confer with each other. Only final answers will be accepted. Participants are not allowed to use any outside help. So no Googling, no finding out who's messaging who in the chats. If I'm suspicious, I will ask you to put your hands on your head so that I can see that there is no Googling taking place. And the quizmaster's decision is final, so I will consult with the judges, but at the end of the day, my decision will go through. And the last piece is to have a little bit of fun. So audience as well, I will put polls up on the screen more towards the second round. So I will encourage you to sort of play along with us and answer the polls as we take part. So there will be 4 categories in this quiz. We're going to start with cyber history, go into cyber stats. We'll do a nice round of film, TV and music, and then we'll finish up with our cyber knowledge round. So if we're all ready to get started, are we all good to go?
Yep.
Thumbs up from people. Excellent. Let's kick for it. So the first question will be aimed at David, you and the blue team. You can confer with your team, but here is your first question, and I will read out the question for those at home as well. So your question, David, this entrepreneur is widely known for his contributions to the personal computer industry. He founded the Microsoft Corporation in 1975 with his business partner, Paul Allen. Who is he?
Muted, David.
Right. I think I know this one. I think it may be, you know, somebody who's rather wealthy and a huge evangelist. Interesting fact, I once ran into this individual in New York City Airport, where he completely ignored me. And quite frankly, I was completely awestruck in any instance. However, if it is not Bill Gates, could the blue team please make sure that they keep me right here?
That sounds good, David. I think you're right there.
Yeah, fire ahead with that.
In that case,
He clearly didn't know who you were, David. That's just good.
I know, he doesn't follow me on Twitter or anything. Shocking. But I think we'll go for our final answer, which is, thank you very much, Kirsty. It is Bill Gates.
I've locked that answer and you will be absolutely correct. It is in fact Bill Gates. Can you tell me, so Keith, I hope you're writing down that as the first point of the score there. Do you know which university he attended and dropped out of? You might get an extra point if you do this, if you know what that was.
I was hoping that my airport anecdote would get me the point. To be fair, I think it was Columbia, wasn't it? But does anybody know better?
I have no idea, I'm afraid. No idea.
So it was actually Harvard University that he attended and dropped out of. So you won't get one for that, but whether Keith's being, you know, so willing to give extra points, he might give you one for the airport. Who knows? We'll find out.
No, if not that, the polar bear's liver might be worth at least half a point.
So the next question.
Definitely half a point, Kirsty, for that one. Definitely half a point.
Very, very kind of you, Keith.
Thank you.
So we're moving on to the red team now. Chelsea, this is your first question for your team.
Okay.
This English cryptanalyst is famous for deciphering encoded messages during World War II and creating standards for artificial intelligence. He is considered to be by many the father of theoretical computing. That's easy for me to say.
So I feel like there was a movie about him recently, and he was played by Benedict Cumberbatch. So I think it is Alan Turing. But red team, what do you think?
Definitely on track. Definitely on track.
Yep, I think you're right.
I would go with Alan. Yeah.
Yeah, Okay,
Yeah, I
Alan
agree.
Turing.
Alan Turing is the correct answer, yes. So Alan Turing helped the Allies by cracking intercepted messages from the German forces and gleaning information that would eventually lead them to victory. You're also right with Benedict Cumberbatch playing him in a movie. It was a 2014 movie based on his biography.
I think it took until 2019 to actually for him to be pardoned for the crimes that he had been originally trialed and found guilty of some stupid law that was back around the day. So it's only in 2019 that we learned and we were able to accept him as a society, which I thought was quite sad.
Very interesting facts there.
Yeah,
Keith, I'm going for the points.
Yeah,
He's going for the extra points, Keith.
Keith.
It's definitely worth 0.5 of an additional point. Well done.
Okay, and we move on to the next question. So Harry and the blue team, this one's aimed at you, but again, you can confer in your team. This English writer and mathematician is known for her work on the analytical engine and is considered to be one of the first computer programmers. Who is she?
This is where I tell my team that I'm not good with names. Anyone got anything to help me with here?
Harry, I can't help you at all. I'm not sure at all.
This is where I tell my team that I don't know much about the cyber world.
Yeah, this was a brilliant film. But I
I've got a name
cannot
in my
remember
head,
what she was called.
It could be like way off. So I might get laughed at for this. Is it Ada Lovelace, or is that like way out?
First name rings a bell. I'm not sure if it's for this, but it's definitely a name.
It sounds familiar, but then so does Whiskers to me. So, you know, I think we should just go for it because we ain't got nothing else.
No.
So thanks, Declan.
Agreed. Yeah, we'll go with Declan's answer.
And the answer is, what's your answer?
Oh, Ada Lovelace, something like that.
Ada Lovelace. So there was a lot of conferring there. Not too sure who that was. Were you right to go with Declan's answer? Absolutely, it is Ada Lovelace. Of course it is.
Wow.
Done, Declan. Smashed it.
Yes, I've actually got a picture of Ada Lovelace in my living room hung up on the wall. So I've actually got lots of Ada Lovelace merchandise.
It was Ada Lovelace Day recently, was it not?
This week, in fact, Jerry,
Yeah.
well done. That was my next question. It's that every second Tuesday in October, Ada Lovelace is celebrated. So get that one in your calendar, Harry, for next year. She obviously worked alongside Charles Babbage in 1840 to publish the first computer-based algorithm. So definitely one to celebrate and remember our name for next time. So moving on to Carrie, this is your next question in the red team. In 2017, this worldwide cyber attack used ransomware to exploit approximately 200,000 unpatched machines. What was that called?
I think loads of folks cried about that one. I think it's WannaCry. So
you confident before checking with your team?
There were so many to pick from that year, but
yeah,
sure, let's go.
I'll want to cry if we don't get I want to cry if we don't get a point for this.
yeah.
I remember sitting in the pub when I found out about it.
We get a
At least we don't have anybody from the NHS here, or we'd be really touching sensitivities. But yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't work here at the time, so it's fine.
If you get this correct, I'm going to be eternally blue.
Oh,
good one. How did we lose that one, guys?
Of course, yes. It is WannaCry. You are right, Harry. And again, yes, Harry, it was an exploit called Eternal Blue, which took advantage of older Windows machines. The Department of Health and Social Care has estimated that WannaCry cost the NHS approximately £92 million. So that was a big attack. But yes, you're absolutely right there.
Fun fact about this particular event was it was the week I was on television the most. I was on almost every lunchtime and dinner time news and on Scotland Tonight for an whole hour explaining this exact same thing.
Getting the message out there, telling people how to protect against it. That's
I
what
thought it
is
was
needed.
totally unrelated, and you were just saying that you weren't doing any work during the busiest time of the year for all the other cyber defenders. That's just, prancing around on TV. Irresponsible, Kerry. Irresponsible.
Totally.
So well done, red team. We're back over to the blue team. Declan, your next question is for you. This one is a multiple choice question, which means the audience at home can play along. So I will release the poll for everybody at home to play along as well. And I'll read out what the question is. So the poll should be live on your screen here. But created in 1990, what was the first name of the first internet search engine? Was it Bing, Jeeves, Archie, or DuckDuckGo?
Now, I know I was told to wait a bit to let people answer and pretend I don't know, but I don't actually know the answer to this question. So I'm hoping that my team can back me up here. I think it's Jeeves, but
Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards as well, Jeeves. I think
Well, some of us were around.
So
Yeah,
it's
see, that's
definitely
the
Some of us were around when this was here. You're far too young and
I
pretty
was born
to
8
remember.
years after that.
But you're on the money. Jeeves, which moved to Ask Jeeves. That was the first one out that I can remember.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will end the polling and we can share the results of what the audience at home have said, and then I will reveal what the answer is. So you said it was Jeeves?
Locking in that answer, please, Kirsty.
Okay. The audience have also said that it was Jeeves, mainly at 59%. And we have 41% that said it could be Archie, which is the third one down. So I can reveal that the answer is in fact Archie. So you were incorrect with your Jeeves answer. So Archie is a tool for indexing FTP file archives, allowing people to find specific files. It's considered to be the first internet search engine, and it was originally implemented and written in 1990 by Alan Emptage, then a postgraduate student at McGill University in Montreal. But you might wonder where they came up with the name Archie from. And some people thought it was from the US comics books, the Archie series. But it's actually, in fact, from the word archive itself, and they just took out the letter V, making it Archie. So unlucky there for that question, and we'll move on to the next team.
Did we get their point? That's the red team.
There's a good chance, but let's see if you can get this one instead. So Federico, this is your question here. Which Arab codebreaker developed frequency analysis, a method to decipher messages?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm going to actually have to confer with my team. Jerry, no pressure, but being the most academic in this room, potentially, I mean, you have you must have the answer for this.
You said it was a great question. I think it's a terrible question, to be honest.
I didn't think I would make it easy for you.
Yeah, I'm sure Chelsea or Connor will know the answer to this.
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think.
I mean, they had multiple choice. They had the questions presented to them. They had a 25% chance. I'm calling. So Arab code breakers develop frequency analysis, a method to decipher messages. Anybody in the team have a suggestion, an Ada Lovelace moment here? Does anybody know any Arab code breakers? Just randomly. Yeah, I was gonna say. Does anybody okay. Great guys. So super help.
Just make a guess
Gary?
then.
Somebody furiously Google without anybody noticing. Come on.
No, hands on heads.
Damn it. I think we're going to have to concede this one see if Blue has the answer for this one. Kirsty, I'm really sorry, team. I let us down.
Okay, over to Blue for a steal.
Chance to catch up.
I don't understand the question, so I'm a no.
It's ciphered, so you wouldn't get it.
I must have missed my Arab code breakers day at school, so don't know this one.
I think there must be many comedy answers for this. Shake my digit, shake my binary. There must be lots of different ones, but I can't think.
I think what I'll do is I'll just put you out your misery and tell you who it is. So the answer is in fact Al-Kindi. So Al Kindi created and developed a method whereby the variations in the frequency of the occurrence of letters could be analysed and exploited to break ciphers. So it's basically counting letters. It's the study of the frequency of letters of groups in the letters of ciphertext. So they use this to aid the breaking of classical ciphers. I wasn't expecting you to know that one. I just wanted to put a wee challenge out there for yourself.
Shout out in the audience to Mo, who actually suggested the answer in text. Well done, Mo.
Well done, Mo. Well
Someone
done.
asked Jeeves.
So the next question, Beverly, this one's for you in the blue team.
Okay, I fear I might have a technical issue if the question's too hard. Just
so this is
in
a
case
picture.
my screen goes blank.
So I've put a photo up on the screen. I just want you to tell me who is it? Who is this person?
I don't have a picture.
Sorry, I'll go on mute.
I have no idea. Team?
Looks vaguely familiar, but no.
Yeah, same vaguely, but
Is that Ray
That guy
Tomlinson?
McDevitt? Is that guy McDevitt? After being out in the wind.
it's not like Tim's Berners-Lee or something like that, is it?
Well, see, I'm thinking I always go Bob, because it's always, if it's an originator of the internet, it's Bob Morris or Bob Taylor or what have you.
It looks like the photo was taken from like maybe Parliament or Westminster.
Yeah, that's definitely Westminster.
So I'm thinking government sort of senior, maybe, I don't know, something along those lines.
I'm going to have to push you for a final answer here.
Does he look German? Does anything he looks German? I'm thinking it could be one of
I don't know.
that old German hacker, Marcus Hess.
We'll just throw out a random name then, guys. I have no clue.
I would guess, and I'm pretty sure it's wrong, but the closest I can think of is it Jeremy Fleming, the head of GCHQ?
Oh, that's a good shout.
Okay, we'll go with that, Kirsty.
Okay.
In the absence of any other answers.
That is the incorrect answer, so I will pass it over
Red.
to the red team to see if they can make the steal.
I think he's Tim Berners-Lee, the creator of the World Wide Web.
Yeah, I was going to say we
Berners-Lee,
throw it the
indeed.
wide. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
So you're going for,
So Tim Berners-Lee.
and you will be absolutely correct to say that that is the answer. Harry, you did say this, so I was hoping that you were going to be confident within yourself to go for it. But yes, it is Tim Berners-Lee. He invented the World Wide Web in 1989. But yes, so well done, red team, for making that steal. And Jerry, the final cyber history question is for you. Which Scottish royal figure wrote messages in secret code describing plans to assassinate her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I?
Now, I couldn't have told you this before, but reading the question, I think I might know the answer. And interestingly enough, if it is who I think it is, I was brought up in a small town called Kinross, where there's a beautiful loch called Loch Leven, and in the middle of that there's an island with a castle on it where I think this person was, well, she definitely was held captive there, and she escaped from there. I think, and I want my red team to help me out, but I think it might be Mary Queen of Scots.
As the only immigrant that has probably read the book that is called The Life and Test in the UK, which I'm pointing to here, which unfortunately Zoom doesn't want to show us, I would have to agree with you, sir.
I did the exact same exam. I did the exact same exam.
Oh, well, good. Yes, of course you did. Fellow immigrant.
I can't remember what the movie was called, but it was out recently.
Oh, there was a film as well, yeah, you're right. But yeah, I think it's Mary Queen of Scots.
I think it was conspicuously called Mary Queen of Scots, the film, Chelsea.
Okay, Jerry, I'll take that as your answer. And you are absolutely correct. Of course, it is Mary Queen of Scots. And or Mary Stuart is also another name that she's recognised for. So well done. Keith, I'm coming over to you now for a score check. That's the end of round one.
That's grand. Well, lots of good answers there and some not so good answers. I'm Tim Berners-Lee. It's like the only one that I knew. and lots of cracking answers at the back there that never got reds any extra, because the scores on the doors at this stage are reds leading with 6 over blues, who've got 2.5. So next time round, blues, you need to pull the socks up.
2.5. Okay, thank you, Keith, for that. I'm going to crack straight on to the cyber stats round. So here we go. Obviously, Kevin, you haven't had a question yet for your blue team, so the first one is for you. Again, audience at home, this is a poll one, so you can take part as well. I will release the poll for this question. 1 second, and I will do that for you so that you can answer at home. So according to the DCMS 2020 Cybersecurity Survey, what percentage of small businesses reported having a cybersecurity breach in the last 12 months? Is it 26%, 46%, 59%, or 80%?
I think it's not going to be low. I don't think it's as low as 26. I don't think it's as high as 80. So it's somewhere in the middle. Fairly close, 46 and 59. Team, what do you think? The outliers just too high and too low?
There's something pinging my mind on 59%, but all these percentages start to run into each other.
I am fairly confident it's 46, because I do believe I've read this report.
46 is my gut feel, but could also be inaccurate.
Lovely. Yeah.
I would accede to anybody who's actually read the report.
Sounds good to me too. Yes, Kirsty, can we go for Kirsty, can we go for 46%, please?
46%, okie doke. I will lock that answer in. I'm going to end the polling here. I'll share the results of what the audience at home said. They also agreed with you at 38% of them saying it's 46%. And you will be absolutely correct. 46% of small businesses did report having a cybersecurity breach. So the 26% is actually the charities that reported and that also reported having a cyber breach. Obviously, we know that these are likely that there's more people having security breaches and they haven't been reported. Medium and large businesses, you're looking at up to 75% of people reporting there. So well done.
There's an interesting statistic in that report, Kirsty, there as well, if I remember correctly, that said of the SMEs that had suffered a breach, something around the lines of 40% of them went under within 6 months following the breach.
That is
a terrifying statistic, actually.
Yeah, yep. So we'll move on to the next question. I've also got a poll for this one. So Connor, this is for you. I will share my screen. This is for you and your team. We have poll 3 for the audience as well. So where in the world, where in Scotland was the world's first university to offer an ethical hacking degree? Was it? Yeah?
No, sorry.
Was it University of St Andrews, Abertay University in Dundee, Edinburgh Napier University, or the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow?
I think it's Abertay, although I'll confer with my team because it's one of my team who studied there.
A couple of us studied there.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's Abertay.
I think we'll go with Abertay.
Okie doke, and we'll share the results of the poll at home as well. 90% agree with you. Probably 90% of them have went to Abertay and studied it. But yes, you're absolutely right. It was obviously Abertay University. We are the UK leaders when it comes to master's degrees. So we have a master's degree in FinTech was launched in Scotland by the University of Strathclyde in 2017. So we were the UK's first for that one as well.
That's my uni, although I did economics.
So it was, I studied there, but it was Dundee Institute of Technology when I went. That's how old I am.
Well, we have another.
I would have hung my head in shame if I didn't know the answer to that one.
We have another, I think it's you, David, that's got this next question. This is another university question. Again, I'll share the poll for the audience at home. Which percentage of Scottish universities offer cybersecurity courses? Is it 20%, 50%, 60%, or over 70%?
Oh, crikey. I mean, obviously, I should know this one, but I haven't been on a cybersecurity course for quite some time. I would.
How many universities are there?
But 14, 12, 14, something like that.
I think there's at least 6 that have them.
Right, 3, 9, 12. If at least 6, we're over 50% straight away. I'd be very, very surprised, actually, if the colleges all pretty much do them. I'd be very, very surprised if it weren't over 70% now.
But really, I would have said over 70 is too high. I would have thought that's just a step too far.
Do you include master's programs?
It's just offering cybersecurity courses of any type. I'd be very surprised.
That would include PhDs too.
Yeah.
I think I would go over 70.
Okay.
Yeah, 60 or over 70, isn't it? Yeah, one of these.
We are also the most highly educated nation in Europe, so we've got to take that. Right, Declan, you're pushing for something a bit lower, but I think the consensus is around over 70%.
Go with over 70.
Okay, our final answer, we'll take it, is over 70%, please, Kirsty.
Okay, and I will reveal what the audience have said at home. They said it's mostly 60%, they said. But the answer is over 70%. So you're absolutely right, David.
Thank you, my friends.
We have over 14 higher education institutes offering both undergraduate and postgraduate courses, creating a steady stream of talent. So Scotland has one of the most advanced cybersecurity education programs in the world. Our students can study cybersecurity at various levels in schools and via further education before progressing to university directly. And you can see some of those on the screen here as well. Excellent. So we have two more questions here. So the next one is for you, Chelsea. And again, I'll release the poll for the audience to play along at home. When is World Backup Day? Is it 31st of March, the first Thursday in May, 22nd to the 28th of February 2021, or the 27th of November?
Who does backups?
Yeah, mine's are all automatic, so pretty much every day. World Backup Day. I feel like because it says World Backup Day, it's got to be either the 31st or the 27th. I don't think it'd be like the first Thursday. That doesn't feel right.
I'm pretty sure it's March.
Unless I'm not counting right, 22nd to the 28th is not a day. Feels like a week. So I would probably discount that one. So we're down to 27th of November, 31st of March. We're in October. We've heard nothing about it. So it's definitely not the November one, right?
I feel like it's 31st of March.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I'm sure it's the 31st. I'm sure
because you'll be an April fool if you don't back up.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that you should only back up once a year.
Exactly. I was going to say, Harry,
that's a good April fool to use, actually.
Okay, we'll go 31st of March. Yeah, let's go.
31st of March. Okay, I will share the results of the audience. They also agreed with you at 63%, said it's the 31st of March. And you're absolutely correct. Yes, 31st of March is the official World Backup Day. Of course, as you've said, every day is Backup Day. You should back up every single day. The first Thursday in May is World Password Day. That happens every year. And the 22nd to 28th of February is, of course, Cyber Scotland Week, which will be taking place next year. And then we have the 27th of February, which is also known as Thanksgiving Day in America, also Black Friday. So the other dates do have reference as well.
I have an interesting fact about point 2 about the first Thursday in May. In my hometown, Linlithgow, where SBRC is now also located, we have an event every year called the Marches, and that is determined by the phrase, the first Tuesday after the second Thursday in June. Easy to remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, that one is an easy to remember. Thank you, Declan. So the next one here, Harry, we're back to you. Which year was the Computer Misuse Act introduced? 1990 or 1992?
So gut feel says 92, but I'll confer with my team. Any thoughts?
thought it was 90.
Is this the
I thought it was
1990
90.
Computer Misuse Act
Yeah.
by any chance? Just a hint there. If
I would
I'm
say
wrong, please
1990.
just hunt me down and shoot me.
No, if that's far more than I have as a gut feel. So I think we'll go for 1990, please.
1990 is the correct answer. Well done. That is, in
Thank goodness,
fact,
if I
when it
got a
was
legislation question wrong, I would just have to hang my head in shame.
yeah, Keith did say the same thing, Beverly. So yeah, it was an act to make provision of securing computer material against unauthorized access or modification or for connected purposes.
I think another interesting fact on this, I think is correct, is that the Computer Misuse Act does not actually define what a computer is in order to kind of not need to be updated every couple of years when, you know, next thing you know, your watch and then your toothbrush can be counted as a computer.
Interesting. That is
I've knocked a few out here.
okay. We'll move on. We'll move on.
We're obviously not getting any extra points for these fun facts anymore.
Now
I have a memory that one of the first people to get charged under it was somebody who had, in inverted commas, hacked into Princess Charles's like voice box or voicemail system, something like that. And there was no law to charge them under, so they created this.
Yes.
Got to be worth like 3 points, Keith. Come on.
Well, I certainly know you're all trying very hard, but I've totted up a 0.5 of an extra point for you boys because you need it. Oh.
Desperately.
So the next one, I'm going to move on here. We are on to who's after Declan? Carrie? Yep, perfect. So this is a multiple choice question. Again, one that the audience can play along at home for. So let me release the poll for that one. So which of these celebrities was the most likely to be exploited by hackers to lure people into visiting unsafe sites in the UK, according to the 2020 McAfee research? So this was a survey that McAfee conducted to find out what was the most dangerous celebrity that would, if you searched for it, lead you to sort of dangerous results after you typed it in. Was it Idris Elba, Graham Norton, Ricky Gervais, or Mary Berry? What was the number one for
I need to confess, I have no idea who Mary Berry is. Before we answer this one, just
the same with Ricky. No idea.
Mary Berry.
She's a world-renowned hacker.
Mary Berry makes lots of cakes.
She makes lots of cakes. She was in there.
Carrie, do you know this one? I'd go Idris Elba, but just because of the James Bond conspiracies.
Yeah, you know, he does look like a shady character. You know, James Bond and all that. You know,
I'm going to say, I think it might be Mary Berry because she's quite an innocent older lady who people like my mum would quite happily Google and click any link. So if I was an attacker, I would be putting my malicious stuff behind Mary Berry.
I think it's the James Bond conspiracy for me would have been Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Because like, how many people are really searching Mary Berry?
My mum probably does it. Hope she's not a call.
It's in the UK as well, so if it was global, I'd say Idris Elba. But I'm erring towards
This is the UK. This is the UK one. Yeah. So who are you going for? What's your final answer, Federico?
No, it's Kerry. It's not me.
That's my turn.
Kerry.
So,
yeah.
Well, I would probably go for what my team member suggested, Idris Elba.
I will.
Silent.
I mean, that face is a dead giveaway, Kirsty.
Yeah, it's not the right answer, so I will pass it over to the Blues to steal it.
Well, I think based on his surname, Graham Norton, because you'd be searching and that would come up with antivirus stuff, and then in my head, a hacker would try and sneak an ad above an antivirus program to sneak a virus in there.
I'm sorry, we've got to go jazz hands here. There is nothing you can name.
I would say Mary Berry. I think we'll go with an innocent search for a Victoria sponge, and but.
So I will put you all out your misery. There's no points across the board here. The audience at home got it wrong. It's not Idris Elba. It is in fact Graham Norton.
Yes, come on.
He was the one that people were searching for the most. Obviously, he's a household name, and over COVID, people were looking for entertainment value, looking for his interviews and quizzes, and he also does a radio program, and he's also very well known for his Eurovision commentary. So yes, he was number 1 on the list. Ricky Gervais was 2nd on the list. Tom Hardy was 3rd. Idris Elba was 7th, and Mary Berry was 10th.
I'm standing by the fact that it's Norton.
Yeah. And also a fun fact here is that it is in fact noted in the NCSE threat report this week. So if anybody did read it, you would have found out that the answer was Graham Norton in that report.
That's
I love that Keith didn't get it right.
Yeah. So
Sorry, team.
we've come to the end of our cyber stats round. I'm going to do a double check of the scores with Keith. I realise we only have 5 minutes left of our webinar.
Right, so we'll need to rush on that. So that was a great round, some really disappointing answers there. However, the scores on the doors are red, have a total of 8, but blues have certainly pulled back the score, and they now have 7.5.
So say that again. Who had 8?
Oh, in total, of all round, as Reds have 8 in total, not for that round, and Blues have a total score of 7.5.
Whoa, they're very tight scores here. So Keith, I'm coming to you for your advice. We have 5 minutes left of this webinar. I've obviously got 2 rounds other prepared that I know we won't get through. So do we want to end the quiz here? Or do we want to go?
We need a chance.
End it in victory. End it in victory.
Sudden death.
Yeah. I think we need a clincher question to offer up a Blues a chance to redeem themselves. So I think what we should have is one question, and let's see how that goes. I'm saying that, and I'm putting you under pressure and buying you some time, but I think it's only fair that we give Blues an opportunity to at least catch up, because they've done such a cracking job of making ground with their dull additional facts.
Right, I'm going to go for my favourite fact then, which is, what is the link between Hollywood star, what's his name, played Willem Dafoe, and Dundee and Angus College? If anybody gets it, I will concede defeat.
Ooh.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're not consulting with your team?
Is the lighthouse?
because I know the answer.
Is the lighthouse from the movie The Lighthouse potentially filmed near the university? No.
Right.
So we'll need
What's
to
the
rush on.
tiebreaker?
I've got a tiebreaker question. So what we'll do,
Okay,
this
you
is,
go.
Well,
this
give
is
me
your
the answer
final
then,
final
But give me the
tiebreaker
answer, though.
question.
because it's I mean, the world is poised here.
So
But
David,
it
let
is-
me adjudicate on this one. David, if this is really interesting, we will give you half a point, and that will be you both on 8, and then we can have a tiebreaker for it. So give us it, and I'll tell you if it's interesting.
Right. Dundee and Angus were affected by Ryuk ransomware. Ryuk is the demon in Death Note who kills people if you write their name on a piece of paper. And who played Ryuk in the English version of Death Note? Willem Dafoe. There you go. That's my fact.
Yeah, I'd say
Right.
that's
Wow.
You just saying that because you never got it.
Oh, okay, David. On that, I have to say that's a death knell, that one, mate. So, Kirsty, I think the final scores on the doors are Blues with 7.5, maybe even 7.25 after that one, and the Reds have 8.
Fantastic. Thank you. So well done to both teams. Obviously, I had more questions here that we just didn't get through in this round, so that does make me think that there is another quiz coming up in the future, should you want it. So I'd love to hear from the participants that have taken part today. If you have enjoyed this, do let us know. We can come back for the Big Scottish Cyber Quiz again in the future. Get Safe Online Week is continuing all week. There's events taking place throughout the day to day for 24 hours. The next session that we're passing our virtual baton onto is to England. They're doing a sort of fraud awareness session where they're hearing from a case study of someone who lost up to £25,000 worth of money. So it's very interesting to get involved in that. But I would like to thank some of the people that are on the call. I'd like to thank Claire for setting up this Zoom and being the technical help and support behind the scenes. My independent adjudicator, Keith, for keeping the scores and keeping everybody in check. And obviously, I would like to thank both panels for volunteering their time, their cyber expertise, getting involved in this fun occasion. And I'm sure, hopefully, they'll come back to redeem themselves again the next time. But yes, thank you everybody for taking part. And
Special shout out to Kirsty for pulling it all together.
Yeah.
Well done, Kirsty.
Thanks, Jerry. Nice to see you guys.
Well done, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good luck.
Very much. Great to see you all, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.